The development team at a retail organization wants to allow a Lambda function in its AWS account A to access a DynamoDB table in another account B. Which of the following solutions would you recommend for the given use case? Create a clone of the Lambda function in account B so that it can access the table in the same account. Create an IAM role in account B with access to DynamoDB. Modify the trust policy of the role in account B to allow the execution of role of Lambda to assume this role. Update the Lambda function code to add the assume role API call. Add a resource policy to the DynamoDB table in account B to give access to the Lambda function in account A. Create an IAM role in account B with access to DynamoDB. Modify the trust policy of the role in account B to allow the execution role of Lambda to assume this role. Update the Lambda function code to add. Update the Lambda function code to add the assume role API. Okay, I feel like B and D are both the same. Okay. Create an IAM role in account B, right, with access to DynamoDB. Modify the trust policy of the role in account B to allow the execution role of Lambda to assume this role. Update the Lambda function code to add the assume role API call. Yeah. And an administrator created an AWS CloudFormation template for the first time. The stack failed with the status of rollback complete. The administrator identified and resolved the template issue that caused the failure. How should the administrator continue with the stack deployment? Delete the failed stack and create a new stack. Execute a change set on the failed stack. Perform an update stack action on the failed stack. Run a validate template command. Delete the failed stack and create a new stack. All right, you have two CloudFormation templates. Template A contains the networking components, and template B contains the application infrastructure. You want to attach the security groups in template A to the EC2 instances in template B. How would you achieve this task? Okay, so in template A, you could do an output of the SGs, and then in the template B, you do that function import for those same security groups. Let's see. Export in the output sections from then import and by using, yeah. Okay. As a site reliability engineer, you work on building and running large-scale distributed fault-tolerant systems in the cloud using automation. You have just replaced the company's Jenkins-based CI/CD platform with AWS code build and would like to programmatically define your build steps. Which of the following options should you choose? Define a build spec YAML file in the code build directory. Define an app spec YAML file in the code build directory. Define a build spec YAML file in the root directory. Define an app spec YAML file in the root directory. Define a build spec YAML file in the root directory. That just explains that. And then this tells me the app spec YAML file is not with code build, it's code deploy. I'm not going to remember that. Deploy apps. No, maybe deploy apps. All right, one more. As a site reliability manager, you are responsible for improving the company's deployment by scaling and automating applications. As new app versions are ready for production, you ensure that the application gets deployed to different sets of EC2 instances at different times, allowing for a smooth transition. Using code deploy, which of the following options will allow you to do this? Code deploy deployment groups. Define multiple code deploy applications. Code deploy hooks. Code deploy agent. Code deploy deployment groups. Allow you to define sets of instances and different sets of you can control when and where application versions are deployed. Okay.